All right, guys, here we are. Good morning. Had to do a little bit of a mic test there, guys. It is January 9th, 2019, and this is a reminder to follow your rules and trade your plan. Hello, everybody. This is Jack Gleason with MajorLeagueTrading.com, and this is your morning trade plan. Let's take a look at the economic reports. Before the bell last night, guys, we had the President Trump speech. 9 p.m. on border wall security. At 7 a.m. NBA mortgage applications. 8:20 FOMC member Bostic speaking, and at 9 a.m. FOMC member Evans speaking. After the bell at 10 a.m. Bank of Canada rate statement. At 10:15 a.m. the Bank of Canada press conference. So that'll largely affect the USD CAD, which has been in a significant downtrend this year. So even if you want to just take a look at the chart, even if you don't trade it, take a look at that one. USD CAD. 10:30 crude oil stock change. Oils have a massive rip in the overnight session. 11:30 the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston President Rosagran speaks. 1 p.m. 10-year bond auction. At 2 p.m. FOMC meeting minutes. Trend biases of the prior day. ES bullish, Nasdaq bullish, Dow bullish, Russell bullish. Overnight ES bullish, Nasdaq bullish, Dow bullish, Russell bullish. Shorter term time frame, guys, same thing. Spare you the repetitiveness. And then on the midterm and longer time frame, guys, midterm ES, Nasdaq, Dow is bearish. So Russell has moved into neutral territory today. And on the longer term time frame, we are still bearish in all four indexes. Moving on to the previous day's summary for the S&P 500. The bell-to-bell high of the prior day came in at 25.81 quarter. We're slightly above that level, bell-to-bell low, all the way down near 25.47 half. The settlement was 25.72 half. Value area high 25.75, right above that. Value area low down at 25.5675. And the point of control is 25.7475. European close 25.5575. Volume on the session came in at 1,619,000 contracts. All right, and then let's take a look. Overnight high right there. I think that was right after the speech. Right there at 25.87 quarter. Overnight low 25.68 half. And then our pivot point support and resistance levels. R4A 2640, R3 2620 half, R2 2675, R1 2586.75 with a pivot point coming in at 2567, S1 25.53, S2 25.33 quarter, S3 25.19 quarter, and then S4A coming in at 25.05. For our 10-day range analysis, the previous day, guys, we had a 33.75 point range. Our median's been 51.5. The entire session, same thing, 33.75. So we do have range contraction here. We're seeing smaller and smaller ranges as we continue to rally, but they're all one-sided. Before we had massive ranges, but they're a little more two-sided as we made those lows of the year, which were very dramatic. Overnight, 27 points. First hour was 23, all below our medians. Index strength percentage change from the settlements. No surprise, Russell led again on the prior day. We talked about that going into the day yesterday, how the Russell was the strongest market, continued to be the strongest market. The S&P was only up 0.86%. The Dow was the second strongest market, but you can see really over the last 5 days, Russell up 5.7% here. Over the last 10 days, Russell 9.9%. I don't know if any of you guys remember, but about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I pulled up a monthly chart of the IWM, which is the ETF of the Russell, because the RTY futures contracts don't actually go back more than just over a year. We came into a major 50% retracement long in the IWM. and we have rallied out of that. In every single low we've made over the last few years, it's been significant. The IWM has pulled into a 50% retracement, and we did it again. I'll re-review that here today, but it's actually pretty incredible. Over the last 15 days, Russell is now positive. That puts us into that neutral territory that we saw flip in our trend biases. But let's go ahead and move into the technical analysis here this morning. I do want to start off with, I think the commodities are a little more interesting here than even the indexes today so far. I think they might provide some good trading opportunity, but we had this extension in oil trade on the open of Tuesday. So on the reopen after the market, the futures close, and we have ripped straight up to profit targets right as soon as the market reopened here last night. We ripped straight up to profit targets, and we moved into an extension to extension sequence. That extension to extension sequence has just completed its profit target. Oil is on my super bull scan here. Oil's on my super bull scan here, and we're in a very clear, clean extension sequence. The next 38%, 50% retracement pullback is 50.68. Okay, that is the 38% retracement, and then the 50% retracement is 50.49. 50.49. So I do want to mark up both of those levels as potential entries into the trend. The negative 61.8 of the extension that traded. Oh, it's not on live. It should still be on the same link. It says I have 40 people watching, but let me see what the deal is. Can you guys not see the live stream? Because I'm looking at it right now on the same link. Oops, what did I do? Okay, you can see it. Okay. All right, continue. So we have that negative 61 at 51.47. Thanks for the responses, guys. 51.47, that's going to be coming into play. But this zone here, 50.68 to 50.50 zone, that is where I'm going to be looking. And then we do still want to watch this extension below if it does trade in the future. But guys, officially oil has made a pretty major swing low here. And if you think about it, we have had like one of the biggest sell-offs in oil that I personally have ever seen. You got to go back a few years to find something as aggressive. I mean, we had a major sell-off in 2015, but this was really big too. I think we had more consecutive weeks to the downside. We set records of consecutive days to the downside in oil. So there was a very aggressive sell-off that led all the way back down to basically the lows of 2017. And actually in Perry's morning trade plan today, he talked about, I think he said Exxon Mobil and maybe it was Chevron, or it was two gas companies, two oils and gas companies that were huge outperformers yesterday, I believe, in the Dow. And you're seeing follow through in the price of oil here. But I do think oil can really rally just as aggressively as it sold off. I would not be surprised to see this thing get all the way up to its 50% retracement at 59, what is that level? Sorry, 59.63, before stopping. So from here, that's $8,000 a contract. But I want to compare that actually to the S&P 500 and where I think we are going. Now, I am holding a position, a swing position. I am anticipating us to rally into the full 50% retracement at 26.33 at some point here over the next week or two. This just seems like the most logical area of resistance from both just a basic technical analysis standpoint. It's the lows before we broke down. Simple technical analysis support becomes resistance. So that support level that was holding in October, in November, we lost it in December, is 26. It lines up the full halfway back short. So I do think that's where this market is headed. If it holds that halfway back short, guys, I mean, we very well could complete that downside target. If we do, it would probably be the beginning of the next recession. But I don't think we'll have negative economic growth, but I have no idea. My job is not to predict that stuff, but that would give us a larger downside target when we trade up into 2633. So at this point, you got to think about on the way down what we were looking at, and you had that full 50% retracement that we initially traded. I think it was Monday. Yeah, I think it was Monday. So traded on Monday, we got through it yesterday. We're above it again. So there's nobody home there. There's nobody home there right now. I wouldn't expect a reversal. We don't really have any headlines that would come out and send that market reversing from here. Yesterday, in the morning, it got very close to it. We got very close to a trend break. We got very close to a trend break yesterday morning. And there was this extension we were watching, and the levels, 25.59, and then it was 25.52 on the support zones. And we came down in the morning right to 25.59s. 25.59s traded 25.64s. It was a nice clean bounce, but then you started seeing some weakness. We traded back below. We couldn't get back above. And then we sold off heavy down into 25.52 and then dipped all the way 4 points, more than 4 points, into the gap fill and the lows near the close of the prior day. And then there was a really quick short covering rally. We retested those 52s, and now we are working our way because we held those levels. It was really crucial. Talked about it yesterday. I think we were kind of all over, and everyone I was saying, wait for the break. Shorts need a break for longs to confirm. Shorts broke, longs confirm, and then basically past 1 o'clock, you just had nothing but an uptrend. This was still a little bit more, anywhere from 10.50 to really 12.50. It's about a 2-hour window. That was a two-sided consolidation where you could have made money on longs and shorts. And then everything after that going into the close was an upsided trend. Now, that hold does give us a profit target of 25.95. 25.95 here, guys. So there's a possibility we do complete that today. And then what we would look for after the completion of 25.95 is a same anchor new high, unless we just continue ripping out like we have been. But with that being said, I would love to see a full halfway back long from that low of yesterday to high, and that level right now exists at 25.67. Going into the day, that would be my most ideal trade location. We are sitting on the old negative 61.8% profit target at 25.83, which is from the halfway back of December 27th. So that is where we're just consolidating sideways. So we could see a little bit of selling pressure off the open to move us away from that profit target. Moving on to the Russell, which was the strongest market yesterday. So you want to continue, focus on the Russell until it's no longer the strongest market here. We had this extension. It actually looks a heck of a lot better on an RTH. RTH only, at Globex off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this market to open and then draw a same anchor new high. All right. Oil already went over. And then for the NASDAQ, guys, we have just traded that negative 61.8% profit target. This was actually going to be a resistance level. It was a resistance level in yesterday's morning trade plan, this red bar. We never quite got up there, so we were never really able to act on it intraday. You can see we just faded up into that and are coming off ever so slightly. But with that being said, we're going to continue to look for this extension. I'm just going to take it to the new high here. Ideally, and I think we could maybe start doing, and I know Perry talked about it yesterday, like a little bit of a tabletop formation where we come down to the lows, maybe trick some people into thinking we're really going to go lower, and then of course we could, but break higher. But I want to really pay attention to the low of this range, the 64.86, call it 64.90. That zone is where I would look for support to come in. You got the highs of the overnight session on Sunday. You got the low near the close on Monday. You got the low again on Tuesday. So just from a basic technical support resistance standpoint, there is obvious participation at the level. It is quite a bit ways away from where we're currently trading, almost 100 points, but it's absolutely possible that we could trade that here today with the ranges that we've been in. And then for the Dow, Dow here was the second strongest market of the prior day. And what I would look for here at this point in time, the Dow is, let's see. The Dow held like a halfway back long for the week, which I thought was pretty interesting. Is the low of money to high. That upside target is 23,986 or 982, right around that area. So I have it marked up there. You could, if you wanted to be super aggressive here, you know, you could take that next halfway back long because we have technically validated upside targets, but the 23,776 resistance of yesterday is now traded as support in the overnight session, coincidentally. But that is the level I would look at here in the Dow, 23,723 for a pullback. And then last but not least, gold. Gold is in a wedge-like pattern. I'm looking at this 50% retracement. My levels haven't changed here in gold, but you can see we went halfway back short yesterday. We had a 1288 resistance level. We traded it. We rotated all the way back to the bottom of the range, 1280. Nice 8-point move in between there. But I'm still looking. I'd like to see gold either one, we have to trade back above 1294, which is the old profit target that we sold off from. I'd like to see us trade back above that and then pull back for the next leg up higher. That's like real big. But other than that, I want to see us trade lower, 1290, 1279, and then below that 1273. But that's going to wrap up my morning trade plan here, guys. If you enjoyed this content, please give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you're serious about learning how to trade and you'd like to know more about my style of trading, how I look at the markets and know everything that I teach, definitely join our Major League Trading Pro member course. With that being said, everybody have a fantastic day. Remember to pursue with passion, remove self-doubt, and succeed with effort. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the Major League Trading Morning Power Hour.